CBS 17 is your local election headquarters. A new political poll shows exactly why North Carolina is considered a purple state.
It also comes with a few surprises this close to the March primary. One stop early voting is just 10 days away, and you would think people have a pretty good idea of who they'll vote for. Well, not so fast. On the Democratic ticket for North Carolina governor, 51% of voters polled by Meredith College are undecided. When it comes to the Republican gubernatorial primary, the current lieutenant governor, Mark Robinson, is at 34%. The rest on the ballot are in the single digits. But look at that bottom number. 42% of voters polled still don't know.
It's surprising this late in the election cycle to see that many undecideds. I mean, we've seen Bill Graham advertise and be more present, as well as Dale Folwell, but doesn't seem to be budging the numbers.
Pollster David McLennan says even with the primary so close, people are pretty disengaged.
I just don't think North Carolinians are thinking about state races and local races right now, which is a shame because they're important and we've got big decisions to make. But I just think both the Republican and Democratic gubernatorial contests right now are just up in the air.
If poll leaders Robinson and Attorney General Josh Stein end up on the fall ballot, Stein leads by 4%, which is interesting because Robinson has been in lockstep with former President Trump, and Trump leads President Biden by 5 points in North Carolina.
People try to be Trump, but they're not. So Trump has got a strong base of support in North Carolina. Robinson's is much less strong. I wouldn't be surprised to see a split ticket in North Carolina. We've seen it for the past 2 election cycles, Trump winning the state and Cooper winning the state. So I wouldn't be surprised if that happened this year.
And as divided as the country and the state feel, current Democratic Governor Roy Cooper's numbers have remained steady in his 7 years in office. Those who strongly approve of Cooper sits at 54%.
Even Republicans like Cooper. It's not just the Democrats and the unaffiliated. It's Republicans have a fairly strong opinion about Governor Cooper. By and large, Cooper stayed out of the real, hot button kind of issues that presidential candidates cannot.
And Liz, the other huge challenge for a lot of these candidates in the primary across the board is turnout, because most people expect Joe Biden to win the primary. Most people expect Donald Trump to win the primary. So there is going to be that voter apathy. Well, why bother to go? So turnout, most say, will likely not be that as high as what we might expect in previous elections. And that has that trickle-down effect for all these other races.
It'll be interesting to see how it plays out.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.